Hi, my name is Neil Kelleher. In this video I'll be talking about using twisting, simple twisting, as a way to practice becoming more aware of your spine. So in this exercise you'll practice focusing on feeling each of your vertebrae individually. So for example, starting off with just the lumbar spine has 5 vertebrae, and if you're not sure where that is, the lumbar spine is around about here. It's between the top of the pelvis and the bottom of the rib cage. So it has 5 vertebrae, and in this exercise all you practice doing is turning one vertebrae at a time. So starting from the bottom up, you turn the bottommost vertebrae to the right a little bit, then you'd move your awareness up and turn the second lowest most vertebrae to the right, then the third, fourth and fifth. Now the idea of this exercise is to practice becoming aware of your vertebrae. So initially, when you're doing this exercise, you may not be able to feel your vertebrae. So one thing that you can do is to try moving your body a little bit to see if you can generate some sensation in that area. When you're counting up, you may find that after one repetition, your awareness ends up somewhere up here, and you can say to yourself, well, obviously I was imagining my vertebrae to be too big, so the next time you do it, you can move your awareness up your spine in smaller increments, so that as you practice this exercise, you gradually fine-tune your awareness of your lumbar spine, and you also develop the control. And of course this, we'll start off with the lumbar spine. You can apply this to the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. So to begin with, you can sit cross-legged, you can also sit kneeling or even in a chair. Use whichever position is comfortable. And to start off with, position your awareness. If you can feel the crest of the pelvis, move your awareness inwards and perhaps slightly downwards. So round about here would be your first lumbar vertebrae. And if you get it wrong, don't worry, the idea is to practice. So to start off with, you can turn to the right, and because we're turning to the right, you can focus on pulling the right side of your lumbar vertebrae backwards and the left side forwards. And you can have your hands on the floor if you like. So draw yourself up tall, so lift your ribs, lift your head away from your rib cage, and then focus on number 1, turn to the right a little bit, and your whole body will turn with it. And then move your awareness up a level to where you think lumbar vertebrae 2 is, and then focus there on pulling the right side back, the left side forward. Then move your awareness up again to where you think 3 might be, pull the right side back, left side forward. Then move up to 4, right side back, left side forward, and then number 5, right side back, left side forward, and then relax. Then do the same thing, turning to the left. And if you like, if you're sitting cross-legged, you can change the cross of your legs. So here again, this time the left side of your vertebrae are pulling backwards, the right side are pulling forwards. So again, starting from the bottom up, somewhere around about here. So number 1, left side back, right side forward. Number 2, left side back, right side forward. Number 3, left side back, right side forward. Number 4, left side back, right side forward. Number 5, left side back, right side forward. And then release. So again, if you're having trouble with that, first of all, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. So draw your ribs up away from your pelvis so that your waist feels long. Also draw your ears away from your shoulders so that your neck feels long. And you can have your hands to the side or just have your hands in prayer position. So as you move the lowermost vertebrae, everything above moves with it. Then when you move the secondmost vertebrae, again, everything above and including the secondmost vertebrae also turns. So you're gradually turning the whole stack like so. The next area of the spine to focus on is the thoracic spine. That's the part to which the ribs attach. And normally what I do is I teach it in 2 halves. sort of halves, two sections. First of all, focus on the lower rib cage, and that's the part that attaches. That includes the floating ribs and the false ribs. So the section of rib cage that forms the arch. The upper rib cage includes the ribs that attach to the sternum. And one of the nice things is the lowermost part of the rib cage, you can consider having 5 ribs so that they attach to 5 vertebrae. So if you start with the lumbar vertebrae, 5 vertebrae, lower half of your thoracic spine, also 5 vertebrae. Then the upper half of the thoracic spine has 7 vertebrae, and your cervical spine has 7 vertebrae. When you're working on turning each of your thoracic vertebrae, you can initially start by focusing on the thoracic vertebrae, but if you like, you could also focus on turning the associated ribs with that vertebrae. So just to show you what I mean, I'll show you from the back again. So again, turning to the right side back, left side forward. And I'll start with the lumbar vertebrae. So this time, hands in prayer. So lowermost, I think I need some new shorts. Anyway, lowermost, number 1, lumbar vertebrae. Turn to the right side back, left side forward. Number 2, right side back, left side forward. That's somewhere around here. Number 3, right side back, left side forward. Number 4, right side back, left side forward. And then number 5, somewhere around there, right side back, left side forward. Now focusing on the lower half of the rib cage, and before you do that as well, you can spend some time just feeling your rib cage. Try shifting it a little bit. Try to create some space between the ribs so that your ribs have room to move relative to each other. And then starting with the lowermost thoracic vertebrae, number 1, right side back, left side forward. Number 2, right side back, left side forward. Number 3, right side back, left side forward. Number 4, and then number 5. You can do that a little bit slower. I'm doing it a little bit quickly for the sake of this video so you don't get bored watching it. So I'd suggest 1, turn, feel it, take your time, feel it, and then when you're ready, move on to the next one. Then when you're ready, when you have a sense of it, then turn to the next. One of the problems with the upper thoracic spine is because those ribs attach to the sternum, it has slightly less mobility. So you may find that it helps to try tilting your upper rib cage back or slightly forwards. Even try wiggling side to side a little bit, perhaps opening one side or the other side to see if that helps you to feel your thoracic spine, your upper thoracic spine. And just as a note, landmarks you can use for feeling the thoracic spine, the lower thoracic spine is about even, the top of the lower thoracic spine is about even with the bottom point of the shoulder blade. So if you draw a line across here, when you're moving your awareness up your body, by the time you reach the top of the thoracic spine, it should end up somewhere about there at the level of the bottom tip of your shoulder blade. When you're counting upwards, feel the sticky out bit at the base of the neck. That's a technical term for it. And that can be your marker for reaching the top of the thoracic spine. When you're doing the cervical spine, you start at the knobbly bit, move your awareness upwards. The top of the cervical spine, you could feel the back of your neck and where the base of your skull is. That can mark the top of your cervical spine. And if you draw lines across, it also ends. It's about even with the level of your ear hole or the bottom of your nose. So when you're moving when you're moving your awareness upwards, trying to turn your cervical vertebrae one at a time, make sure when you get to the top, your awareness should be somewhere at the level of your ear holes. And if you end up somewhere out here, then you know that, oops, I've moved my awareness too high up. So you have to shorten the gaps, how you move your awareness upwards. Well, I'm suggesting use your imagination to position your awareness approximately at the appropriate level for each vertebrae. Eventually, with enough practice, you may actually begin to feel the individual vertebrae and the movement between them. And this is something that you can work work towards over time. And for me, it feels like I'm getting better and better at feeling all of my vertebrae to the point that I can lengthen my spine and feel all of them. One other point, you don't have to start off with the bottom. You might find I try to do this in any sort of twisting pose, not all of the time, but if I want to build more awareness, so say in Ardha Matsyendrasana, I can start from the bottom up and move my awareness upwards so that I get a deeper twist. And that's one reason for counting up the vertebrae. If you want to deepen your twist, focus on each vertebrae in turn so that you turn each vertebrae to the maximum extent possible. In a position like this shoulder stretch, where you're stretching the shoulder but also twisting the spine, since the arm prevents the upper rib cage from turning, for this pose you might want to start off with at the top of the thoracic spine and then count downwards, turning each of your vertebrae in turn away from the shoulder. And also, just sitting up tall, you can practice moving from the top downwards as well. So if your hands are in prayer, start from the very top, turn your head. So counting downwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm at the top of the thoracic spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lower rib cage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lumbar spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you can also do is hold it. Start again. See if you can go even deeper. Cervical spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thoracic upper spine, upper thoracic spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thoracic lower spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lumbar spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you may find that you can go even deeper by repeating the process.